And so when we think about all of these characteristics that just seem like maybe poor human personality traits, these characteristics are how the culture keeps those that are racialized as white at the top of the hierarchy. This is how the structure is kept in place. Worship of the written word, right? So you have the people who are conquering, the people who are succeeding in genocide and land seizure and enslavement, the people who are doing that, the white people, they're the ones who write the history books, who then teach everybody whatever the history is going to be. And so then if there's a culture around, if it's not written down, it didn't happen. Right? If there's this culture around the written word and all of the written word is based on whatever they said, well, of course, that's going to help establish this same hierarchy over and over and over.
Montessori education emphasizes the child's right to choose activities and learn at their own pace. However, when power is hoarded, the teacher or administration may exert excessive control over what, when, and how children are going to learn or what they are going to work with. So you will see that there is a limited opportunity for self-directed learning. Teachers are dictating which material children are going to use instead of, allowing that free exploration. They are restricting access to certain areas or activities. Sometimes they just lock a shelf which children cannot. So this is curbing the children's autonomy. This diminishes children's ability to make choices. It demotivates them to solve problems independently and develop confidence in their decision making abilities.
Ignorance is very comfortable, right? And the right to comfort is going to help keep white people racially ignorant. And when white people are racially ignorant, the system is going to function really, really, really well. So if the white people or the people who have the most privilege and power in the system are unaware of the realities and histories of that system, then they're going to continue going through their everyday life without feeling that bad because they're not aware that so much of their everyday experience is actively oppressing a whole lot of people. If they knew that, a lot of people would probably not feel so comfortable moving through their everyday life. And if you've got people at the top with privilege and power who are uncomfortable with the system, that's where you can leverage systemic power for a tremendous amount of change.
And there's this rush to decide because we need to move quickly. This is how the white supremacy culture wants us to go. And sometimes we think that that's how it's supposed to move. We want to be fast, but then we lose time to be inclusive or make democratic decisions or think long term and consider consequences or learn from our mistakes. There's no time for that. And then there are these unfair expectations because we need to be productive. We need to be better all the time and know everything all the time. So there are these promises and expectations to work too much for too little money with the feeling that we're never enough.
A place where no matter where you are, it allows you to fail and get back up to try again, with endless opportunities until you feel you have gotten it right. A place where you have freedom to choose and know that the choices you make have consequences. A place where it's not an expectation to be polite, but know that it is kind to make others feel welcomed and accepted, which feels good on the inside. It's all reflected back on the child and how they feel after they make a move in their daily journey. That is Montessori. The Montessori community has a unique opportunity to lead by example, fostering an environment where diversity, equity, and inclusion are not just ideal, but an integral aspect of education.
In Canada, individual presentations happen much more often than in Japan. We often had to present in front of class, which was not a frequent occurrence in Japan. In Japan, the only time we'd present in class is to read some passages from textbooks out loud, but rarely to share your own ideas or opinions. Rewards were also awarded to individuals in Canada, as well as punishments, which were bestowed upon individuals. At the end of each school year in Canada, we would have award ceremony for individual honor roll for each subject, which was awarded to individual student. In Japan, on the other hand, we were expected to follow the rules, both written and unwritten. Some of the written rules included what we could wear to school, to what kind of bags students were allowed to bring.
One essential aspect of the lead teacher approach is providing lesson through repetition, which purposely foster learning and development. However, without a proper understanding of this methodology, an individual must unintentionally replicate patterns rooted in the white supremacist culture, focusing on controlling rather than guidance. That can also be done in communication with parents to continue the Montessori at home. Ooh la la. Sometimes we as a Montessori we forget we getting to forget what is the philosophy in see. So when we put sometimes the perspective that we are bringing into the classroom, we have to peel it in order to know what is our purpose. Are we following the child?
The
Are we?
key strategies, I would say, for courageous conversations that I put into place would be preparation, language, what kind of language that I would use, what kind of emotions I would acknowledge, and how would I acknowledge those emotions, and what is the collaborative problem solving techniques that we can use. So, first is to, I mean, of course, reflections and anticipation, and everything comes into that. So before even getting into those conversations, the most important thing that I would do as well, and as a mother, I've done that many times with my own kids who are teenagers now, how to get into that conversation. It's not like because I'm the mother, so you have to listen to me, but how do I prepare myself and how do I prepare the environment in order to get these conversations being engaged and being heard at the same time? And also before engaging into this difficult conversation, take time to clarify what do you want to achieve in that.
How either our thinking unfortunately can filter in to to our everyday lives, and then we can talk about how we can filter it out. So if we just think of like about the home setup, are we using, is it enough Montessori for us? Is it the material enough Montessori? Is it it's not Montessori, I'm not going to buy it. Are we using, shall I buy a plastic cup, an open cup, or a glass cup? So, but we need to always think if it's how it supports the child. We need to think of the child's development, how appropriate it is.